Hey guys, welcome back to the channel to wow, the first oil painting, complete oil painting in quite a few months. Wow guys. So the title for this painting is The Red Queen's Garden, and it's not quite immediately apparent, but it's hella based off of Alice in Wonderland. And it's kind of weird because at the beginning I thought that I was just gonna have a little Alice, ignore the red ink that quickly got covered with yellow, a little Alice freaking out maybe a little bit in a garden somewhere, and inside of her would be the caterpillar smoking a hookah with lots of roses and stuff all around her. And then it quickly changed to I'm gonna make Alice into a mushroom, and then blind her with flowers, because Alice is lost in Wonderland and whatnot. But then that became unsatisfactory, and I set her aside for a couple of months while I worked on commissions and things, and I came back to her later and had my hand started to make some changes. So one of the first of the weird changes that I made, and probably to me the most important, was eyes in the flowers that were supposed to be blinding Alice. And I think from there I just kind of spiraled. And I changed the hair to red because, Alice is in Wonderland, and you could take it literal, yeah, she accidentally slipped into a whole different dimension. Or you could take it, you can take it as a whole metaphor for, wow, this girl fell, bumped her head, and had a whole crazy dream, a whole nutty LSD dream, that featured a lot of the issues and things that she was dealing with in life, because that's usually how dreams work. They just take your life, they sort through the important bits, they get rid of the unimportant bits, and they shove them into filing cabinets. And the imagery and the smells and the feelings and the people and events, because it's getting sorted so quickly and there's so much going on, your brain just your inner mind interprets it as lots and lots of really weird dreams. So I decided to make her red hair because I was thinking that inside of her head, she has a whole, she's got some problems going on, and one of those problems is that, she's kind of like her own worst enemy. So she is Alice, she is lost and wandering around in this unfamiliar environment, but she's also the ruler of that environment and kind of not good. Like, the Red Queen represents the bad part of her and the monstrous part of her. And so even then I started to think, oh, hey, this is interesting. Let me keep going, and I cut the imagery, and then I couldn't decide on the mouth. I know that I changed the mouth a couple times. One of the times being because it was too small, and it kept staying too small, and I didn't really like it. So I, made it bigger, made the lips more full, and then I gave her teeth, because why not? And also the Cheshire cat has lots of teeth because it's a cat and it's creepy. And that's kind of the story that I'm telling myself for why this queen character has no body and her hands are floating, because if anybody remembers the Cheshire cat, it is really weird and can make different parts of itself invisible or change how it looks or whatnot. And even in the Tim Burton's remake of the movie, the cat can change its whole shape into something else. In the movie, it became the Mad Hatter for a very short period of time. I love the Cheshire cat. He's so cool and so creepy and fun. But after a while, I kind of set her aside again, because at the time I had so many things going on. I had lots of school stuff, and not school stuff as in I was in school, but like I was working in the school with first graders. So I had a lot of things going on there. And I had a lot of things going on at the house. So it took me basically a whole year to complete the Red Queen, and she's 12 by 12. Or is she 10 by 10? She's very small compared to most of my other ones that I managed to complete in like a month that are way bigger. And after a while, I kind of noticed something about it, and that like the whole transformation from, oh, this is a little Alice who's, going to be going through her Wonderland field trip in her mind, it turned into like it quickly devolved into really weird, crazy stuff and eyeballs everywhere watching. I don't know, how do you say it has to do with anxiety, or at least with mine. My mind, like my frame of mind while creating this creepy lady was not always the best. I was dealing with a lot of stuff, and as the year of 2017 progressed, I started to get more and more lost and very anxious. And if you look at any of my past illustrations and stuff, a lot of, especially the most recent ones, a lot of them have eye things going on. Like there's eyes everywhere, and I have more eyes popping up and other things. And then the Red Queen, yeah, she's blind, but not really, because her head is filled with flowers, and every single one of those flowers has an eye, and every one of those eyes is looking in one direction. So walking through her garden and trespassing, it doesn't really get you anywhere but caught and in trouble and dead. So yeah, that was, you gotta, the Red Queen's garden, kind of like a really pretty but slightly extremely terrifying monster living inside your own head. And that's kind of how anxiety works. For those who deal with that and know what that's like, y'all understand me. And also, like, most other mental illness things. Mental illness is a thing. It's a pretty bad thing. And, but, it's fine. I am working through those things. And also, using my art as one of my little things for coping with stuff. And figuring things out with life. And just self-expression, which is important. I think I used to believe that I would be one of those artists who would use images that didn't really have much to do with myself, but had a lot to do with, with very general worldly things, like things that anybody could relate to, and like everybody would be able to make their own story. And I'm not saying that that's not true now, because you can look at them, but I'm definitely creating art that is extremely personal to myself. Definitely pretty like confessional, autobiographical, confessional is a good word. So it's just things that I confess to happen to be understood by other people, because we all go through the same bullcrap at one point or another. So yeah, that's the story of this real creepy lady. And I want to do a quick shout out to this musical producer whom I absolutely love and I'm a fan of. His name is RITORIKAL. You can find him on YouTube and Patreon. I will include the links below, so you can definitely need to go check him out. And also you can find me on Patreon as well. And if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe. That would be great. So yeah, thank you guys, and have a marvelous day. And just, find some good things to do to relieve some stress in your life if you can. Yeah. So bye guys.